everyone. Today's video is going to be about what happens to your prayer. Are you the kind of person who thinks like, I pray all the time, but nothing is happening? Is there anybody listening? Hello? Are you listening? Can I get like $2 billion yesterday? It's overdue, by the way. Or are you the kind of person you're like, well, there's no point in praying because I never get what I want or need or I ask for? Or are you the kind of person who's like, yeah, I've given up on prayer a long time ago? Well, then this video is for you. Like, yeah, right, you, yes, you, over there. So, today I'm going to share a few things that I have learned throughout my experience, what really happens to your prayer. Because I've tallied them back and forth, evaluated them, and I've learned that, okay, you know what, that makes sense. That makes sense that these things are happening. So, without further ado, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Binish Lalani, and I am going to be sharing my life experiences with you as I have learned to intertwine my material and my spiritual life together. Because again, those are not separate entities. They're one and all, and we have to balance both of them as we live through this life. And I've learned a lot of things throughout my experience, and I'm going to share some of my real life experiences, some of the examples that I've learned. And I feel like I've learned it the hard way. Why should you? So I'm sharing my experience with you. So without further ado, let's talk about prayers. Well, what is a prayer? I personally believe, and this is just my belief, prayers are a moment in time when you put yourself in front of the divine and you beg for his mercy, you ask for blessings, or you ask for something that you need, or you plead for something, or you wish for something, or you want something. It could be anything. It could be protection, it could be help, it could be wealth, it could be fame, it could be whatever you need in life. Like, we're going to take this example because this is going to be a funny example. In my opinion, I want $2 billion, please. And we're going to take this example throughout this journey of prayer and talk about what really happens to the prayer. One thing to keep in mind that I want you to remember is the fact that your prayers are never getting wasted. So whatever you pray for, it's getting, sorry, my cats are just making noises. And all right, so again, your prayers are not getting wasted in any shape or form. It actually is going into your account, and it's working with the karma account. Now, karma, on the other hand, means deeds, good deeds and bad deeds. Oh, by the way, there's a secret I'm going to share by the end of this video. So I want you to stay tuned, because if you listen to this entire video, the secret about prayer is going to make sense. So stay till the end. Let's talk about what really happens to your prayers. There's 4 possibilities in my opinion. One of the 4 will definitely happen, no matter what. Your prayers are always accounted for, always recorded, saved, and kept for future. Alright, so let's talk about number 1. Number 1 thing that will happen to your prayer is that you will get exactly what you asked for. Like, for example, you win a lotto ticket, like the $2 billion that I've been asking for, like, what, last 2 years? Hello? Plus interest, by the way. Well, okay, so the first thing that will happen to your prayer is that it will come true as is. Have you had one of those days when you're running late for work and you wanted to catch that train or bus and you're like, oh my gosh, can I please make that train? And you do. You make it. You make to that train and you are not late. Have you had that moment happen to you? Or you're like, oh my gosh, it's a dreadful day at work and you're like, I need donuts. And one of your coworkers just brings a box of donuts and you're like, oh my God, I could have wished for something else. Have you had that moment when what you asked for, you get it? However, you guys, there's a catch, because there's always a catch. So the catch is, for your number one option to come true, you need fuel to fuel that prayer. Well, how would you fuel that prayer? Well, that's where the karma account comes in. You need to have enough good deeds in your karma saving account to fuel that prayer to turn into a rocket and send it up high to God, straight on his desk, and be like, excuse me, other prayers, approve this one first, please. And God is like, approved. So that's how it happens. The fuel comes from all the good deeds. What if you don't have fuel in your prayer? What if you have been asking for $2 billion for your entire life and it hasn't been come true? So what's going on? What's the next deal here, right? You'll be asking. Well, the next thing that's gonna happen, which is option number 2, something else is gonna come true for you. So we as human beings, we pray all the time. We wish for stuff, we ask for stuff, we're like, oh God, I wish I had that, I wish I had that. All those things are getting into our file. Like we literally have our spiritual file and everything gets accounted for in there, and all of our prayers go in there as well. And God is like, well, you don't have fuel for it to come true exactly like the $2 billion. However, I remember 10 years ago you wanted a Tesla and you just entered a competition of Tesla. So here comes the wish, approved, send out. Here you go. So you will get something else instead of your actual prayer that you're asking, the thing that you have asked for it before. Have you had one of those moments you're like, somebody gets you a gift that you've been wanting for a long time and you get it as a birthday gift and you're like, oh my God, I always wanted that. Have you remember that? So that's the option number 2 coming true for you because you asked for something big that you don't have fuel for. However, you do have fuel for something substitutional prayer that you have made before, and something will come true, something else you will get. So now, what happens when number 1 doesn't come true and number 2 doesn't come true? What happens when none of those come true? So you'll be asking me like, okay, what happens? Well, the number 3 thing that will come true, possibly, probably, is actually my favorite. Number 3, I would rather have number 3 than number 1 and number 2 at all times, because let me tell you what it is and then I'll tell you my reasoning behind it. Well, number 3 is that your prayer then converts itself into a shield to protect you from a problem that's heading your way head on. I mean, it's coming head on to you, and your prayer, what it does, it turns itself into a titanium shield, and it goes like, come on baby, I got your back. And what it does is that it knocks it down into a little pebble of a problem, and when it hits you, you're like, one of those problems and you feel like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with it? But then when you are in it, when you're going through it, you feel like, wait a minute, it seems so bad and worse, but it's actually not. I can handle this. That's what happened with your prayer. Your prayer just knocked it down to the ground, bare bottoms, turned it into a small, tiny little problem that you can handle, and then send it your way. So now you are like, oh, I thought it was worse than that, but I got this. It's one of those things that happens to your prayer. So this one is my favorite because we are surrounded by problems, we're surrounded by issues, struggle. There's one after another thing coming up in life, and I would rather have my prayers turn into a titanium shield and kind of protect that, all of this stuff. One of those days when you're driving on the highway and you were about to get into that horrible, terrible accident, been there, done that, and you're like, oh my God, this could have not ended well for me, but you survived, and you're like, I have no idea how I got out of that, like no clue. Well, that was your prayer protecting you. The 4th and the last option in my book here is your prayer is going to count as a good karma account deed and will be saved into your karma account as a good deed. The reason why it's a good deed is because you are sacrificing that moment of time. Sorry, my voice is cracking a little bit. You are sacrificing that moment in time of your life in presenting yourself in front of the divine. Because when we pray, like I said before, we are putting ourselves in front of the divine, and that even if it's for a second, even if it's for a split of a second, even when you say, oh my God, or if you say, Assalamu alaikum, if you say Ya Ali Madad, if you say Sat Sri Akal, if you say Jai Mata Di, if you say, Jai Shri Ram or Jai Krishna, whatever you say, you in that split second, putting yourself in that moment in front of the divine. And you're sacrificing that time frame, and that becomes a good deed. So all of your prayers are technically a good deed. However, they do take forms and shapes in order to come back to you. So the last option is that if your prayer, if none of the three options came true for you, then the last option is it will turn itself into a good deed, and it's going to get into your karma account. Remember, we need the karma account, the fuel to power the prayer one. If you want something in life as is, then that will be the number one prayer. So before I end this video, here is a secret of prayer. Have you ever had people in your life that have prayed for you? Like they say, God bless you, my child, or I wish, you have helped me. I wish somebody else will help you. I wish, all your good wishes will come true. You've had those people in your life, and mostly elderly people in my life, they always give me blessings. I personally believe that when people pray for you, that has more power than what you pray for yourself. So that also reminds me of another thing that I'm going to share. When somebody else prays for you, the reason why it has more power is because it is 1,000 times more powerful than your own prayer, because they are praying for you. You made somebody happy. You helped somebody. You sacrificed your physical time, your needs, and you prioritized somebody else's need. You helped them out. You did something for them. And in return, they are praying for you. That has a lot more benefit to it. That has a lot more weight, a lot more power, a lot more benefit in the prayer that they do for you. And what it also does is the 4 categories that I talked to you about today. That prayer that somebody's doing for you will fuel and power all 4 of these categories. When you do need fuel for the first wish to come, exact wish to come true exactly the way you want it, well, that has already powered from that prayer that somebody else did it. The second one is that substitution comes true. That has extra power from that prayer too. The third one was if a problem is heading your way, but guess what? Now you have extra power to, your shield will be even more powerful. Maybe your problem will just skip you, who knows. And the fourth one is a good karma account. So now you're getting like 10 points for Gryffindor, right? So, alright, so this is my take on the prayer. There's one more thing I want to share. If you pray for somebody else with wholeheartedly, you said, oh my gosh, may you be blessed with happiness, joy, success, prosperity, peace, tranquility, and every good thing in life, with good health and long life. Well, guess what? That prayer cloned itself, and now it's been coming to you as well. So again, it's gonna count as a good deed, go to your karma account as well. So whenever you pray wholeheartedly for somebody else, that prayer has just cloned itself, so it can apply back to you. So it literally clones itself. One prayer goes to that person that you're praying for, and the next one is staying with you. So pray for others too, guys. It doesn't hurt. Pray for others. Let others pray for you. Praying is powerful. It's very powerful. It's never getting wasted, so you will always get something from it. Again, my name is Binish Lalani, and if you have enjoyed this video, if you have found this useful, helpful, please spread the word, please share the video, and I think then this video will deserve a thumbs up. If you like this video, I have similar videos coming up soon. So if you have liked this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the other videos as well. So please hit the bell icon so that when I upload a new video, you will be one of the first people to get notified, and so that you don't miss anything. And before I let you go, guys, I just want you to know you are precious. So please take a great care of yourself. That means do not drink and drive. Do not text and drive. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.